Moving now to the Sixers and the news that Joel Embiid will require a second surgery on his right foot has raised expectations that the center will again miss an entire season. Neil Hartman has more on how Embiid and the team have arrived at this unfortunate place.
Joel Embiid's only college season was cut short due to a back injury, but it was a foot injury suffered in the lead up to the 2014 NBA draft that saw him slide from projected top pick to an asset available when the Sixers selected third overall.
The Philadelphia 76ers select Joel Embiid.
Sam Hinkie knew about the dangers of big men with injured feet after his time with Yao Ming in the Rockets front office, but he argued the reward of Embiid's talent outweighed the risk.
In our minds, and only this scenario, does he fall to 3?
Hinkie outlined a 5 to 8 month recovery timetable following Embiid's selection, thus making it all but understood that the promising center would miss an entire season, just as Nerlens Noel had a year earlier. During his rehab process, Sixer fans saw brief glimpses of his immense talent in pregame workouts. But in January, a report surfaced that Embiid had put on considerable weight.
We relate so much of his ability to avoid injury and to get back on the floor sooner with his weight.
Another minor setback struck in March as Embiid was briefly placed back into a walking boot. But things seem to be taking a positive turn at season's end and into the offseason as the third overall pick took part in more strenuous workouts and 5-on-5 pickup games.
He's definitely impressed me, even with playing with him a couple times these last couple months in the summer, and he's looked great.
All of that changed suddenly last month when the Sixers issued a statement saying Embiid had another setback.
The nature of navicular injuries and the nature of stress fractures is that you see these slow improvements and then you slow it down and you load it and you slightly unload it. And anytime you get any sort of negative feedback, you unload and you slow down and reassess.
After 2 weeks seeking medical advice, worst fears were realized. Embiid now finds himself going under the knife for the second time while losing a second season. Dr. Mark Schwartz, co-director of Virtua Sports Medicine, isn't treating Embiid, but is familiar with the procedure.
We knew going into the first operation that basically there was a 15% chance that it would not be successful. Unfortunately, that was what happened, and at this point we're looking at a second operation to try to get this to heal. Unfortunately, the success rate of a second operation for the same problem is not nearly as high as a primary procedure.
So now the organization that has turned trusting the process into a creed is now back at square one, following the same message it presented the day after drafting Embiid a year ago.
Will we be patient? Yes. Yes, we will focus on giving him every chance to be as healthy as can be, to have the kind of career that he can have. If he can remain healthy, he can have a fantastic NBA career.
Neil Hartman, Comcast SportsNet.